Hi everyone, I am Rahul and I am going to talk about a special young man with an enormous future, but perished leaving us at loss of words. Well, the tragic deaths of some remarkable young talents often leave us pondering the what ifs of their potential. These what ifs are a part of our collective mourning for lost potential. There is something bittersweet about imagining the greatness that could have been, whether in arts, sports, politics, or any other field. What is clear, however, is that their legacies continue to inspire and their contributions, even if cut short, shape the course of history in profound ways. I'm going to talk about one such talent whose name is Duncan Edwards. Duncan Edwards was an English professional footballer, widely regarded as one of the greatest talents in the history of the game. He was born on October 1st, 1936 in Dudley, England, and was known for his strength, skill, and versatility on the field. Edwards was a central figure for both Manchester United and the England national team during the 1950s. Even as an 11-year-old schoolboy, he caught the imagination of everyone and started excelling from the word go. From county level to England's schoolboy side, where despite being a 14-year-old and younger than the others, his superior skills were clearly in display. His Manchester United journey started as a 15-year-old boy, and he was selected for the junior team, and his rise through the ranks was remarkable and evident as he played in an enormous amount of games during his first season, so much so that he quickly became the central figure. Edwards made his debut for the senior Manchester United team as a 16-year-old and quickly became their key man. By the time he was 21, he had already played over 170 games for the club. He was a part of the famous Busby Babes, the young and talented team managed by Sir Matt Busby, who was considered one of the best in Europe. In a professional career of less than 5 years, he helped United to win 2 Football League championships and 2 FA Charity Shields and reached the semi-final of the European Cup. He was also, at the time, the youngest England player and went on to play 18 times. Edwards was considered to be the most complete player in many regards. Tall, physical, but with skill and grace that often defied his frame. He was comfortable with both feet. The prodigy was at home with the ball at his feet but just as effective in the sliding tackle. His mental attitude also belied his youth, possessing the kind of presence and authority on the field usually found in more seasoned veterans. But tragically, Duncan Edwards' life and career was cut short by the Munich Air Disaster on February 6, 1958. Edwards, who was severely injured in the crash, succumbed to his injuries 15 days later on February 21st, 1958 at the age of 21. His death was a devastating loss to football, and Edwards is remembered as one of the most promising young players the sport has ever seen. Despite his short career, his talent and potential had already marked him as one of the game's future stars. How good the man was can be seen from the view of some of his contemporaries like Bobby Charlton, who described him as the best he ever saw, or was likely to see, and said his death was the biggest single tragedy ever to happen to Manchester United and English football. Terry Venables said that, had he lived, it would have been Edwards, not Bobby Moore, who lifted the World Cup trophy as an England captain in 1966. Tom Docherty stated that Duncan would have become the greatest player ever, better than the likes of Best, Pele, or even Maradona. These were just a few whom I could mention, but for all the people who saw him play, the Manchester United boy wonder was someone very special with unmatched talent. Busby best summed up Edwards' all-round ability. We used to look at players in training to see if we might have to get them to concentrate more on something. We looked at Duncan and gave up trying to spot flaws in his game. Duncan Edwards led a simple existence. Football was his life. His idea of a big night out was a trip to cinema and a fish and chip supper. At the time of his death, Duncan Edwards had the world at his feet. His footballing skill far outpaced his rivals, And young supporters the world over idolized this big lad with the sure feet. Off the field, too, things were going well, and few days before he flew to Belgrade, the manuscript of his book Tackle Soccer This Way was handed to his publishers. It took Manchester United years to recover from the loss of those 8 players, not least their young talisman. With all the memorials, a statue has recently been erected in the main shopping square in Dudley. Big Dunk was, with the words of his manager, a truly amazing boy, one who seemed destined for greatness at the very highest level. Thank you.